Good day to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. And today more Poland Daily philosophy, because we are talking about traps of Polish political system in the beginning of 16th century and how it developed later on and influenced the Polish state. Here with me is Michał Rzeczycki, a member of Jagiellonian Club. Thank you very much for being with us. Just a few words, what are you doing there in the Jagiellonian Club, by the way?
Editing and writing articles and editing our website.
And your website is dedicated to a lot of political thoughts?
Rather to much more contemporary affairs. But we have a space for philosophy and history.
So, since you can use this chance right now, tell us about the religious tolerance in the Republic of Poland.
As we know, in Western Europe, there was religious violence after the Reformation. In France, for example, for 20 years, since 1569, I think, there were religious wars. Poland and Lithuania, in contrary, was quite peaceful. Why was that? The reason was that first, king could not exercise his power when he wanted to imprison a Protestant noble, because according to the privilege, no one will be captive without the court sentence. So it was serious doubt whether spiritual courts, I mean courts run by bishops, could sentence anybody. The other thing was with a country that was quite accustomed to the fact that there were many religions. There were Catholics, there were Orthodox Christians, there were Jews, smaller Christians, Christian communities believing in Nestorian way of Christianity.
And there were Polish Muslims as Tatars.
After that, yes. You have this pot, and having a new religion, it was not something extremely new, because it wasn't a homogeneous country. But there's also other factor. When the Reformation began, a lot of nobles in Poland converted to new doctrine. But the reason of that wasn't theological. It was purely political, because there was a very old argument between the clergy and the nobility about, I think it is called tithe. I mean, a taxation from the land. 1/10 of land of income should be given to the clergy.
So they wanted to avoid the taxation, of course. So it was just a way of dealing with.
From human perspective, it's quite understandable. You live according to the commandments. You're a very good Christian. And
then you become a Protestant, because then you have more money and you can spend it on poor people.
And then you have a clergy of a bishop who wishes to excommunicate because you didn't pay your taxes. The situation was quite absurd. So. So the bishop could excommunicate some noble because he didn't pay taxes. Precisely.
Oh. Very bad custom.
And I remember Professor Tasbier in his book about Reformation in Poland noted a letter from a papal nuncio, who said that when it comes to sacraments, Polish nobles are the most Catholic in the world. But when it comes to paying taxes to the church, there were no single Christian in the church.
Well, I would say useful. The health of things stayed in Poland.
Yes, exactly.
So instead of sending to the Vatican, which was already very wealthy itself, keeping some in Poland wasn't a bad idea.
What I'd like to think about it, that they really thought that was something unjust.
In the
unbalanced.
Taxation.
Yes, because they were expected to do very secular things, regardless of spiritual things, which were the essence of the church, which are the essence of the church.
Absolutely. I feel the same every time I need to pay my taxes. But coming back to the tolerance, it was a time when Poland was becoming a home country for a lot of Jews, yes? Well, it started before, but then it was we took over all the Jews from Spain as well.
Yes, after they were expelled from Spain, and Jews were after that important part of Polish-Lithuanian society, mainly because Polish and Lithuanian nobles couldn't have an activity that we might call a merchandise, because it was contrary to the noble status. So they needed people who are kind of mediate between them and the person who they wish to sell the goods, grain maybe. That was the rule.
The job for the Jews.
Of the Jews, yes.
So the merchants, they became merchants, and that's why they had an opportunity to become really wealthy on Polish lands. Because of course passing goods with personal interest, of course, with an element of interest, is always profitable.
It would be a pity if I would not remind Act of Warsaw Confederacy. As an act of religious tolerance in Poland, all parties agreed that we have no fight inside the country. There was a scandal about it. Polish nobility had to defend this document in the eyes of Europe. Why you have such scandalous document? Why do you tolerate heretics? There was arguments, of course, inside Poland. But Polish nobles decided that our community and our political values are more important than our religious arguments, and thus we must have a peace.
Tolerating the heresy and heretics in order to keep peace and prosperity. I would say that for many right now, such kind of statement might feel unique. And that's a message for the viewers of Poland Daily. And thank you very much for watching our show.